Well, howdy folks. I thought I would show you all what I've been working on today, something I just finished up. Excuse me. And actually, it's something I've been working on since earlier this summer, really. But I finally got everything moved indoors and kind of knocked the dust off of it all. This is a homemade knapping machine. This is a project I started this summer, and I got it up and running. And then I got distracted and sidetracked and off on other projects. And so I used this a little bit, but I didn't use it a lot. And then I ended up joining the local gym and mineral club where I have access to real knapping equipment and saws and such. And so I put this thing away, and I just got it back out because it is handy to have something here at the house. In particular, I have some pretty heavy grit diamond wheels that I'm using for rough shaping some fog preforms that they don't have at the gem shop. So I decided to go ahead and get this thing up and going. So I'm going to run through, I'm just going to show you how I've got this all set up. Now, I'm not going to walk through the actual build process of building the cab machine, but if I can find it, I'll post a link up. But I found another guy that had taken some bench grinders and turned them into his homemade knapping machine setup. And so I'm not going to repeat that process, but this is a 8-inch variable speed bench grinder that I got from Harbor Freight. Now I picked the variable speed bench grinder because if you'll notice here, the RPM range from 2000 to 3400. Now, most of your knapping wheels are going to have a optimal RPM rate of about 1750. That's something I noticed this summer. So I picked this grinder specifically because I can get it down close to that optimum rate. I can't get it down to 1750, but 2000 is a lot better than, you know, a flat rate of 4000 RPMs or whatever. So that's the reason I picked this grinder, as well as it's a Harbor Freight deal, so it was inexpensive. It also has a light on it. I'll turn it on at the end. It's pretty loud. It's not super loud. I don't need to wear hearing protection, but it's going to be loud if I turn it on just yet, so I'll wait till the end. To retrofit it, to fit these are 1.5" diameter or 1.5" width diamond wheels, sintered wheels. I also have the soft wheels, but I had to either get rid of the outer cover, which I didn't want to, because then I'm going to have a whole mess with the amount of water spraying. So what I did is I just went to the hardware store and I got some tin, and I cut out, it's an extension basically. I just made an extension to bring out the thickness of this guard here. You can see I've got tabs in there, so I just folded that metal tab so that I could screw this on, and then I riveted the tin to the original frame of this guard here using some rivets. I got a hole in there with a rubber grommet. That's my water feed system, and currently I'm using the water pump from a tile saw, like I think it's a rigid 7-inch tile saw. So I just pulled that water pump off and I have it hooked up on this. So I also had to get some washers. I had to adjust the spacing so that this wheel wasn't hitting the inside of the guard here, but that was pretty easy to figure out. So I've got some spacers. I had to do an extension on the guard. You don't have to do this, but it's going to get real messy real quick because water is going to be spraying everywhere. I also made just kind of this, I threw on this custom brush guard here. All this does when this is rotating, it kind of evens out the water stream on the wheel. Probably not even necessary, just something I went ahead and did. When I run it at the lowest RPM setting. The other thing I did, I took the base off of this grinder turned it upside down, and I silicone caulked everything I could. So basically the housing here, the base that houses the electronics, I've got this all sealed up as best as I could from the front and also underneath from the bottom. The table this is a Harbor Freight. It's just like a maintenance dolly. It's plastic. It's screwed together. It was relatively inexpensive. It has the dolly wheels on it, so it moves around really well. You got some little drawers and stuff in here for miscellaneous items. I thought it was a perfect fit, and it really has turned out to be. I drilled a hole in the center of it. That is also kind of the lowest spot. So I just checked it before I did. I just threw a marble on here, and of course the marble went to the center, so that confirmed, all right, water's gonna run to the middle. I've got some 1/2-inch EMT conduit, a couple of fittings in there, and some silicone also to just kind of seal it up. So my water is gonna drain into the first bucket. I decided to go with 2 buckets here. So I get a little bit of a filtration system from using 2 buckets. So everything flows down into the first bucket. Once the water level gets high enough, it's gonna flow over into my second bucket, and that second bucket is the feed for my water pump. Okay, so that's gonna help a little bit with the sediment. Don't know how necessary it is, but that's how I have it set up. More 1/2-inch EMT and some fittings. That's all siliconed. So everything's pretty sealed up pretty good. I just turned it on for the first time, and I'm not seeing any leaks or anything like that. So it looks like it's all running pretty well. I'll redo my outlets. I'll probably mount a wall plug or something back here where I can plug everything in. The system is grounded. Not that I really have to worry about it, but it is grounded since I'm dealing with electrical equipment and water. What else? That's pretty much it. It's a nice setup. I've used it a little bit this summer, then I put it away. I haven't gotten back to it, so I'm going to start using it a little bit today, but I will turn it on and show you. At 2,000 RPMs and with this feed system, I've got this pump going at its lowest setting. It's got a decent amount of water spray to it, but it's not terrible. Oh, another thing I did, the guards are mounted to the housing of the motor with 3 screws. I drilled 3 new holes, and so I actually rotated this guard housing forward a little bit, because originally the guard stopped about like right up here, and so it was about like that, so it was just throwing water right towards me. So I adjusted this guard so it's angled more forward and down, and so that really, I just turned it on a minute ago, that's really helping. It's not throwing water straight at me now, it's throwing water down when it's spinning, so that's going to keep everything a little bit cleaner while it's running. I can't think of anything else. If you're going to build one of these, I think it's really important, get the variable speed or find one that has a very low RPM, because with these diamond wheels and everything, again, everything has an optimal RPM of about 17.5, so you're going to want to get down as close to that as you can. So I'll turn it on. It's got my light. It's loud. It's not terribly loud. I don't even know if you can hear me. So basically, like that pump, it's for a tile saw, so it's putting out a lot of water. I could get a smaller pump, and I probably wouldn't need that brush on there, but you could probably see how that brush helped keep the splash down that pump's putting out a lot of water onto that wheel, so it's just spraying really bad. With that little brush on there, it just helps keep the spray down. That's all it's really doing for me. I'll keep tinkering with it and fix that later on. I'll probably get a smaller pump or something. But in the meantime, like, it's all doing what I need it to do, which is it's going to scrape and grind rock for me. So there you have it. That's my homemade calving machine setup that I made from a Bauer 8-inch variable speed bench grinder. Again, I'll try and find that link, and I'll put it like either in the video description or down in the comments or something. If I can't find it, just search how to make a calving machine from a bench grinder, and you'll find some really handy info out there. Cool. Cheers, everybody. Later.